Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hey Walnut, it is me Laz here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I hope you're having a wonderful week. My walnutting this week is more of a discussion point about apologies, the power of apology and forgiveness and the power of forgiveness. I've been sort of dealing with recently a really huge theme in my life, and as you know, I've talked to it regarding boundaries and things like that, where I feel like and tell me if you've experienced this, Walnut, because I know it's not just me, where I feel like I am not at fault. I feel like I am ball and chained. What is that word? I am held back. I'm held down by other people's lack of boundaries or forgiveness or apology or energy, and having that emotional open emotional center in human design as well. I feel it so much more. And if you don't know what that is, it's sort of you'll know what being an empath is, right? I feel things so much more deeply than sometimes I feel like other people around me, and it's a really lonely place, Walnut, and I've been struggling with that a lot because one, I don't use my voice very well, and hence the podcast, hence the voice practice, hence the Walnut Tree live videos and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes I can feel very, let's just get scuba deep dive, vulnerable podcast episode, nice and fresh while we're in the moment of it. But sometimes I just feel so lonely. I feel so lonely because I cannot articulate how I feel, and I feel like nobody hears me. And you might be thinking, like, what the fuck, Laz? You've got a podcast, you use your voice all the time and you do all your posts. But when it's something that sometimes I feel like, if you've seen the TV show Midnight Club, and then the boy tells a story about all the people that he's murdered, and they all like scream at him, but no sound is coming out. Sometimes I feel like I'm the ghost screaming at myself, because I'm not, articulating myself in a way that I am understood or listened to. Let me know if you resonate with this or not. Otherwise, I probably sound like a little bit of a crackerjack and I sound a bit mad. But I think one of the most difficult things of being a walnut and a feeler of feelings is this idea of forgiveness. And I've talked to it a little bit with you, and it's quite a bit of a bigger theme than just like forgive and it all shall be forgotten, because forgiveness and apologies go hand in hand. But the quote comes to mind of forgiveness is accepting an apology that you never received, right? And letting things go. But I'm struggling with the letting go part, because that's something that has defined me. The things that I hold on to are the things that resulted in me being like who I am today, in a sense. So how do you forgive when the act itself has like triggered a response in you, and that's now how you behave? I don't know, but it's like letting a piece of me go. How do you let something go, Walnut? And you know that from being here on the podcast, or if you're new here, you might not, but me staying in gyms too long, if we go way back to one of the first, I think it's in the first 10 episodes, about I stayed at that gym membership out of just like misguided loyalty, right? I stayed in there. I keep sentimental things that just take up space, but I just make it mean things. And I think that's the hardest part on forgiveness for me, is that I can't let some things go because they have now they've grown like a little moss inside of me, and I can't. It's made me. It's built me. And then I saw something on TikTok the other day, which was an apology is not bowing down, it's not giving up, it's not surrendering or losing the battle. It's acknowledging your part in it, in the battle, in the scenario, in the disagreement. And I thought that was quite beautiful because we're taught as a society, Walnut, to just say sorry. And I've been in situations where it's like, well, you're going to apologize. And I'm like, but am I sorry? Why would I apologize if I'm not sorry? But think back to when you were a kid, Walnut, and you didn't want to share your toys. And it was like, oh, you know, that's really mean. Say sorry to your sibling. I don't want to say sorry to my sibling, kind of thing. And you get forced to apologize when you're not actually sorry. I don't want to share that with my sibling because it's mine. And you're allowed. This is the thing. It's like you. Now I'm going on to the tangent of selfishness. You can tell I'm kind of in like a bit of a spiral and a head scramble and a Weltschmerz, Walnut, because it's like we're taught to not. We're taught to say sorry when we're not actually sorry. We're taught to give away our things to be kind to our siblings or to the people, and then hence, over years, the moss becomes a recovering people pleaser version of me. And that's hard. And so with the word sorry or with an apology, I love that, which was acknowledging your part in it. So imagine changing the narrative on all of the instances in your life where you've been made to apologize and changing it into something like, I acknowledge that I'm behaving like this. My intention is not to make you feel that. Something like that, Walnut. I don't know. It's just really hard to be. I'm just struggling with the letting go aspect of forgiveness, and I'm in a bit of like a resentful kind of phase, and it's not just one particular thing. It's a couple different areas of my life where it's just like I really am stepping into, Walnut, that like it's the villain era, right? But I am, not the bad. I know I've passed that of like, you want me to be the bad guy? Well, I'll be the bad guy. I am not the bad guy. I know that. And so I have surpassed a villain era and I'm into just like selfish. I'm just in selfish era. Like, I don't know. And it seems very savage, cutthroat, like I have empathy fatigue because I have spent so long of my life giving and giving and giving. And it's like these glasses have come off, Walnut, and I just see my life in such a different way. Is this a 30, I'm 31 now. Is this a over 30-year crisis? Did these happen? Is that real? But I'm just seeing life in a completely different way. I'm seeing all my choices. I'm seeing why I made them and how it's resulted in what it is now. But I have a resentment, and I resent to some degree, Walnut, and I'll be really, really honest here, to some degree I resent myself for letting myself get to this point where now that's going to take so much undoing and so much change to actually get to a point where I can let stuff go, because it's now all of these little situations have now snowballed into sort of just this big bubbling pit of unfairness in my stomach. And I think if you're a woman as well, Walnut, like with ancestralness and the patriarchy and all that kind of stuff, you probably to some degree do feel that too. And we've spoken to a little bit of that rage and how it's unfair. And I'm really struggling with that at the moment, Walnut, and just how do you let go? And I don't have an answer for my story. All I have is this is a feeling and this is very real, and I'm taking Walnut, the most beautiful thing just happened. I paused my recording because I heard Kevin barking, and the most beautiful, wonderful goddess banana of the whole of the land just showed up at my house. And we just had an over an hour long woosa. um, and I got to use my voice. I got to talk to someone who knows me, understands me, knows what I'm saying, feels the same way about things. And so, Bron, if you're hearing this, I I love you. I love you so much. I appreciate you, Bronte. Thank you for who you are and all you do. Shout out to Bronte, Walnut. Give a round of applause to my beautiful friend Bronte. We were talking about, though, before I pressed the pause button, Walnut, about forgiveness, apologies, and how I'm kind of really struggling with that. Coming to terms with how all of the stuff that I feel like I hold and that it doesn't come out with my voice properly, and just lots of compromising and things like that being a woman. And Walnut, the thing is, I don't have a cure for this episode. This is more sort of like a vent or a vulnerable sort of share about how I'm actually feeling. So I would love to know if you kind of like resonate or feel the same way. Just let me know how this is sort of landing with you. And I think in real time, case in point, how I've been feeling, and then just having a beautiful angel knock on my door and kind of it's not even a reality check, but just that reminder that we have the people, and sometimes we want and wish and hope so badly for like a specific person or peoples to give us what we need or that expectation that we're after, that and we're so focused on the fact that they're not giving us the thing that we're craving, that sometimes we forget that there are just like the most beautiful, wonderful bananas just at the tip of our nose, just saying, oh my gosh, hey, I love you, I get you, I hear you, I see you, and I appreciate you. And yeah, so I guess I'm going to wrap this episode up, Walnut, with the fact that you probably do have a beautiful banana hidden, out of foresight, because it's been clouded by a potential banana who is maybe making you feel a certain way, or all the things that we were talking about sort of before about, apologies being acknowledgement of their part in it, of forgiveness, of letting things go. It just clouds our whole judgment. So I hope you find that beautiful banana today. That's going to be the moral of the episode. And if you've listened all the way to the end, thank you so much for being here and for listening to this real-time share. But my walnutting this week, Walnut, is I wanted to tell you how I'm feeling about things. And I am a little bit struggling with feelings and things. And then in amazing, beautiful real time, I'm just celebrating that I do have so much beauty around me. And I'm so lucky and fortunate to know the people that I know. So a vulnerable share and a bit of a word vomit, but also a celebration that there are so many people who love you around. And I'm one of them, Walnut. I fucking love you. So on that rambly episode, I hope that some parts of this have landed, and I'd love to know what has or what hasn't, and if you want me to elaborate more and maybe start a proper discussion on this. But have a happy Walnut Wednesday, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.